Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the Process Designer editors. This is going to be a pretty short video because these editors are generally not touched in day-to-day operations or even during your programming operations. We wanted to basically touch on each one, give you a very quick overview of what they do, but for the most part we ask that you stay out of them. They're only there in case something goes very wrong with your process designer or a architectural change is being made to AzStudio that requires some extra data to be modified. Okay, so first off, aspect types. Aspect types are pretty much hardwired. You could, of course, give it another type and give it different kinds of permissions. So if you did need to have a different kind of user in the system, you can certainly create the aspect type. These are the only rights that aspects understand, and it would take an actual change in schema and logic in AzStudio in order to enhance or change this. Of course, you could probably change the description if you needed, but for the most part, don't change this. Okay, so we have the process editor. This is just a place to edit your process properties, your basic stuff. I probably wouldn't touch this, but it is a good way to inspect and see what data is in the system. The same is for process tasks, templates, log, and notes. You can see all this information in the actual process manager. If you needed to do a raw data dump of information, you could do that here because we do have the print and export. But I wouldn't tamper with this information or edit it outside the actual designer or the manager. Security templates allows you to edit the security sets that you've sent up. Since these are JSON data and there's no actual editor for this outside the designer, again, probably something you shouldn't touch, but it is something you can create. One thing you could do that might be useful is that you can come in and you could copy this to a different DB if you needed to. So if you had a bunch of templates set up in one application and you wanted to just create those same templates in a new one, it'd be pretty easy to do. Task states, again, something you're not going to tamper with. As a matter of fact, it's probably detrimental to change any of those. Process security. This is where you're going to have different security set for different process templates. Probably not something you're going to want to mess with. Process states, these are the states that a process can be in. Probably, once again, nothing to mess with. Subtasks, these are where the process subtasks are stored. Task flags are stored. Task item links, that's the little arrows for the workflows are stored. And task links, which are essentially how tasks link together. I wouldn't mess with these ever, but they are there in case you need to copy data or export them or do a printout of the set of data that you might want to see cross-process. It's rare, but it is necessary, and we provided you the tools to look into the data. So as you can see, these editors are mostly really rarely used, but they are provided for completeness so that you can examine the data and report on them at any time, basically in interest of completeness. We always like to have some editor, probably more than one editor, against a piece of schema exposed through our plugin system, because that's a safer way to edit things than raw SQL. And also allows us to layer on reporting, exporting, POCOs, all that kind of stuff that we already have built into the core system, and you don't have to go over and create the wheel again just to access some data. Otherwise, leave it alone. Leave it alone. Let it do its thing. The ones you should be really concerned with are the process designer and process manager. So that being said, thanks for watching.